This is my dream project. So I was dreaming about this film when I was in university, so about 10 years ago. That's like, 10 years ago I was like, I know someone's gonna make a documentary about the Vancouver Grizzlies and this person needs to be me. And so 10 years of dreaming, and I'd say 4 years of really hitting the ground running, 3 years of really doing everything on my own, financing the film. I didn't have anyone behind me. 3 years of going to festivals and conferences and pitching and getting so many no's, and then finally my last year I was able to get funding from Story Hive, who were amazing, and that's when I was able to bring a team on with me, and we were able to get the project done after that within a year. The next film I'm working on is actually the feature-length documentary about the Vancouver Grizzlies, so telling the full story of what actually happened. Another goal of this film was to really show the world that Vancouver, we deserve a team, we need a team, and we want a team back. And I think Finding Big Country it really did show that. We had 6 sold-out screenings in Vancouver. Everyone was decked out in Grizzlies gear. It's become sort of like this film has sort of started the conversation going again, which was what I always wanted to do. The fact that Vancouver had an NBA team, I think that's a huge part of our city's history. I used to coach basketball when I was in university. Actually, it's kind of weird because just a really random fact, there's that black and white photo of me that my brother's talking about, this article and this photo. And that photo, I think it appeared on the front page of one of the Kamloops newspapers 14 years ago, because it was 14 years ago, our AA girls team, senior team, was heading into the championship game. I didn't make this film to get closure on my basketball career. When I got cut, that was actually the real motivation of why I wanted to make this film, because when everyone thought of the Grizzlies, all you think of is just a bunch of losers, but you don't actually see the heart behind the team. And so after that experience of being cut and then having to come back again and again and again, and I was able to turn that failure into a really proud moment in my life, and that's what I wanted to do with the Grizzlies as well. And so I always have to thank I did get cut, but because I got cut, I was able to, find my childhood hero, and they let me come in and say goodbye to the game in a way that I was able to make peace with it as well. So I got cut, and then that year that I got cut, the UBC's film program was reinstated, and they only select 20 students per year. And prior to that, I actually, as much as I loved basketball, I also loved filmmaking, and I think that was sort of, I was heartbroken that I got cut. It's this hard realization when you realize that, hey, maybe I actually didn't love this as much as I think I did, because I think I love something else even more, and that's filmmaking. It was just a tough thing to reconcile at the time, and to finally be okay, I'm actually just going to focus all my energy on filmmaking, because that's what I actually love. And I wouldn't have been able to do this if I had been playing on the UBC varsity team. I spent the year making a film about my good friend Carling Muir, who in the summers I would also scrimmage with the Langara basketball team. And at age 19, she was diagnosed with brain cancer, and I was always so inspired by her story, because she was undergoing chemotherapy and still playing with us. And so I made a short documentary about her called True Player, which got me into the film program. And the film program is so intense that there's no way any student can do both. The program is too demanding. You have to make films, you have to volunteer in everyone else's sets, and I'm glad that I picked film before I even had to make that choice. The choice was already made for me, but yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.